one of the greatest football players the world has seen.
He's a born closer. He can decide any match.
His stats speak for themselves, how good a player he is.
Inside Ronaldo!
Him doing what he's done, you see how many trophies, how many goals. It's just a joy to watch.
He's a very important player for our team and our country.
He's beaten Zabaleta, Ronaldo!
In Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo is an icon. The first name when you see the lineup of Portugal.
That is why he is a legend!
He won 5 Ballon d'Ors.
The winner is Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's the most followed person on Instagram.
I think to be good looking helps too. You broke the all-time record for shirt sales in 24 hours. You actually beat a guy called Messi at PSG. You must have been happy about that.
Of course I do.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Well, Cristiano is born into quite a big family on the island of Madeira and living in Funchal. And I don't think you could say that Madeira is in the middle of the Atlantic, because it isn't, but it's far removed from mainland Portugal. This is not like being brought up in Lisbon or Porto or one of the main cities. It will feel very, very different from the Portuguese mainland. It's a very small community. And Cristiano's out there playing with his family, playing with his friends on the streets of Madeira, and gets involved in the local club. His dad is a part-time kit man with the local club. So he's born into a family which has some footing within the game, of course. So he's brought up by a football-loving dad, which is massive, of course, for little Cristiano as he begins to hone his skills on the streets of Funchal. And he's in the local youth club and learning his skills. And this would feel a million miles away from the bright lights of the big European clubs to which he would aspire to play for. I think it's obvious really early on that Ronaldo has an incredible talent. Well, that's obvious to his family, obvious to his teammates, obvious to everybody around him. And whilst Madeira might be a long way removed from the Portuguese mainland, of course, the big clubs of the Portuguese mainland are very much across what is happening, and they're very happy to go and find out about somebody causing such a stir even on the island of Madeira out in the Atlantic. And at the age of 12, Sporting invite Ronaldo to Lisbon. Can you imagine that move from tiny little Madeira, where it's a very, very small pond, and suddenly he's being taken to Sporting, who have their own academy near Lisbon. And as a 12, 13-year-old boy, Cristiano moves to the mainland. This is going to be like emigrating to a completely different country with the same language. It's the same country, of course, but it will feel very, very different from Madeira. And of course, Cristiano finds himself at the age of 12, living in the Portuguese capital, part of this Sporting Lisbon academy, this community of this big club, which is a million miles away from everything that he's used to. And he has to live on his wits, and he has to live on his talent. And of course, he has absolutely the talent to shine immediately.
We just missed out on signing Ronaldinho. We were all excited, and when we was away thinking we're going to get Ronaldinho, and he went and signed for Barcelona. And everyone was like a bit deflated. Don't get Ronaldinho. Then we play Sporting, and we're in a tunnel, and then all of a sudden you start getting whispers. They got a kid called Ronaldo, meant to be half decent, a young kid meant to be really good. Don't think anything of it, and the game starts, and then you look at each other and you're like, okay. He's doing mad stuff. He's embarrassing a couple of our players. It was a bit of a sandpit, the pitch, to be fair, but he was dancing on it like it was a normal pitch. And I remember half-time when I was going to the toilet, I think with Nicky Butt and Scholesy, I think it might have been, and we were all standing there saying, oh my God, we've got to sign him. And then the game finished, and we were all sat on the coach after, waiting. Everyone's sitting there going, I've been here an hour, waiting an hour, like, what's going on? We've got to get to the airport, and blah, blah. And then the noise starts coming, travelling back through the coach that Mr. Gill, who was the CEO at the time, and the manager in there, and they've got Cristiano in a vice-like lock waiting, so he can't leave the stadium until he signs and agrees to come to United. So I think that was where the deal was agreed, and then the rest is history.
When I was a young boy, I always feel special sometimes. Okay. Not just for myself, but I saw the people look at me with the different eyes. Because in my opinion, I think I was different than the other ones.
Often at a big football club, when they come across an extraordinary talent, they'll try to manage the development of that talent very, very carefully. Think Ryan Giggs at Manchester United. It's a measured and a managed rise to the first team. That didn't happen with Cristiano Ronaldo at Sporting. We can make the analogy, if you think about it, as perhaps taking the cork out of a bottle of wine, putting it at the bottom of a sink full of water and telling it not to rise to the top. When you let go, what's it going to do? It's going to shoot to the top. And that is what Cristiano did at Sporting. This incredible season where he plays for the under-16s, the under-17s, the under-18s, the B team and Sporting's first team, all in the same season, which is incredible. He has literally flown from the bottom of that sink to the top of the water and shot almost beyond it. But it's an incredible and unstoppable rise into Sporting's first team based on his athleticism, his pace, his dribbling. He is irrepressible at this age. You cannot stop him making that Sporting first team.
What really stood out for me when I first started work with him was he would do a lot of the stuff that other players at high level were just not willing to do. He would make incredible sacrifices that a lot of others just didn't have the time for.
I saw the work that boy put in. From the minute he woke up, go in the gym, do his core, go out into the training ground early, do his tricks. Everything was geared for him to becoming the best player in the world, not part of the pack.
To score 69 goals, in a calendar year, 2013, is just phenomenal.
When I was playing, or certainly when I started, if you got 1 and 2, then you were a brilliant player, and that's what all forwards tried to do. But his numbers are crazy.
Left foot, right foot, outside the box, inside the box, with his head. Goals where you just think, how has he even got that strike away?
Cristiano is 36, but he's like a 24 or 25-year-old. In fact, too many young people are not lucky enough to be in his shape. It's not luck. It's hard work. He has sacrificed his life a little bit. Because after a game, we are young. We have money. We could say, let's take the plane and go to London or go to Paris to a restaurant or a concert. And we don't do it. We go home to our kids, eat, and rest. The day I met Cristiano, it was a Thursday in summer. I'm on my way to work on Cartagena Street and Ortega and Gasset. I get to Gucci as usual. I was off at 5 in the afternoon. And a colleague calls me and says, "Hey, Gio, I'm on vacation, but listen. There's a client who's going to buy some coats. Please stay half an hour and take care of her." And when I'm leaving the store, I see a very handsome man is here, almost 2 meters tall. He was with a boy and some friends. And I stand frozen. So it was funny, Haha. Like the kid had said hi to me, of course, to a young girl, pretty. I started feeling butterflies in my stomach and said, what's going on with me? So I didn't even want to look at him. I was very shy. I started taking care of him at Gucci, and he wrote one day to say he was going to an event, asking if I would be there. And I said, oh, well, yes. I'm also invited. I'll stop by. And I spent all day thinking which outfit I was going to wear. How will I do my hair? When I got there, he looked very handsome. I remember perfectly how he was dressed, how I was dressed. Nothing. We toasted a little champagne. Then I had to go to the company dinner that very same day. I didn't feel like going to the company dinner at all. But it was good because it left us wanting more. And one day we ran into each other at another event. He was there with his friends and his brother Hugo. And he says, "Gio, do you want to come for dinner?" I said, finally, the chance has come. and I was really excited. So, on the way to the restaurant, our hands brushed each other, and it felt as if his hands had been mixed many times before. And once our hands had brushed by accident, we went for it and held them together.
She was a very interesting girl, much more mature for her age, really. We have a bit of an age difference, and I started to get hooked. It kept me interested.
They're always joking about the wedding. When is the wedding? Since Jennifer Lopez's song, The Ring or When, came out, they started singing it to me. And well, this is not up to me.
I always tell her when we get that click, like everything with our life, that she knows what I'm talking about. It could be in a year, or it could be in 6 months, or it could be in a month. I am 1000% sure that it'll happen.
One of the key themes about Cristiano Ronaldo is that he's always thought that he can't be beaten.
Tired in very strongly, Ronaldo's writhing. Looks hurt. Well, the moments when the drama takes over.
He was on the pitch, then he was off the pitch.
Ronaldo's gone down, he's coming off. And there are going to be tears. This was his stage. This is not how it was supposed to end in France this summer for Cristiano Ronaldo.
With him, it's always, it's about him.
He was shouting to every name, he was coordinating the players, he was giving some information. I think almost everyone felt his presence on the touchline.
Even during the game, there must have been 500 cuts to Ronaldo on the bench. It was almost like he was the star player, even though he wasn't performing.
He wants to be outright the best. And he knows if he wins the Euros with his national team, as Messi won anything with Argentina. So it puts him, it's another feather in his cap.
Eder shot! Super strike! Eder smashes Portugal onto the verge of glory!
France were all set up to win that game. It was France's final, it was their tournament. But there was another force acting on that team that went beyond being the host nation.
Look how excited Cristiano Ronaldo is. All that he's achieved, all that wealth that he's accumulated, but he's never done this. Eder jumps, Eder celebrates because he's the man that has won the European Championship for Portugal.
To see him moving to Saudi Pro League was completely unexpected.
For me, it's a pleasure to be here.
They say in the beginning, Cristiano is finished. They say I'm here only to win money. Listen, I don't care. I'm still motivated. I'm looking good. I'm looking fresh. Cristiano people doubt, but in the end of the day, I'm a box of surprises, so live the moment.
This is a league that is trying to improve football for its people.
Saudis have a long-standing passion for football.
The question remains, how big will the impact be on local Saudi players?
The Saudi Pro League is trying to be one of the best leagues in the world. That's the idea, isn't it?
When Cristiano Ronaldo goes somewhere, you are going to follow everything he's doing.
At first, we couldn't believe that he had actually signed, until he was in front of us, of course.
There's no doubt that today here in Saudi Arabia, we have one of the best footballers of all time.
I think Cristiano in the Football League world is an icon. With Cristiano, every time is a show. The Saudi Pro League has been around for years, but Cristiano Ronaldo's arrival made an overnight impact.
After Ronaldo's arrival, the attention on us increased a lot.
I mean, we're talking about the fact that the Saudi Pro League is being watched in over 180 countries around the world.
Well, at the beginning, in everything, is not easy. The culture is different. My family is part of me, and they always go with me wherever I go. Sometimes the kids, sometimes they miss Europe. It's normal. Nothing in this life is easy. The Saudi people, they are very friendly. The people who like me, I give them back. I'm here to win trophies, make Al Nassr better, make the league better, change the culture. I want to be successful. I want to leave a legacy. This is what I want. This is why we are here. They help me, I help them. We are unit. I take my piece of cake, Netflix takes a piece of cake, Saudi, everyone. And we work for a big cake. It's winning, winning.
In the last 8 seasons, Al Nassr have only won the league once. And by signing Ronaldo, they will definitely be hoping to return to the top.
The allure of Ronaldo, it's the man that's got it all. Would you say he's got everything? Do you know what I mean? You can go through the list of things that you know what I'm talking about. The best footballer, the most goals, played at the biggest clubs, won the biggest titles, got a beautiful family. Everyone would want to be in that man's shoes. If you're growing up as a kid and you say, I want, he'd be one of your top picks.
That ability to repeat the stuff that others aren't willing to do. That's what his real talent is.
The fans, they get crazy, they get mad, they don't know how to react when they are close to him. They try to jump, they try to touch him, to have 1 second opportunity to be close or to sign something.
Love him or loathe him, Manchester United Ronaldo is now the most expensive footballer in the world.
He doesn't care what you think of him. He doesn't care how you feel about his success. He will preen and he won't apologise. He'll strut around saying, I've won, this is me. And people are always like this.
Maybe someone's don't like me, but because maybe I'm too good.
He will look you straight in the eye and he will tell you he's the best. But at the same time, he will be so keen to emphasize just how much hard work went into him being the best.
He's just different. He's made different, built differently.